What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? This is Investigate and Advocate, and I'm your host, Jedediah, proud commander for the Culture INA. As you all know, today we continue um, in whatever you would want to call this encounter with a group that we have basically identified as the V-Knots. And we've identified them, of course, taking on that which um, was a name given to them by an actual creative YouTuber. Um, can you all hear me talking before I keep going? Let me make sure you can hear me. I'm getting quite a bit of messages. Dang. So I just finally was able to get my phone on after a full day, and the messages are coming in rapidly, one after another. But today was the actual trial date for Vivian Allen versus me, where she was asking the Cook County courts to give her a protective order against me. I haven't been on for quite some time because I've been very busy working on a lot of things. And I'm very, very proud about what we're working on. And I'm very focused and I'm very committed to doing that. And I just want to say or talk about some of the aspects of today. The first thing is that I had to get up early in the wee hours of the morning to travel to the airport, to fly to Chicago, to take time out of my schedule um, in a completely different state to fly to Chicago to go to this case. And I'll come to Chicago for anything and anywhere at any time, especially when it comes to identifying or meeting the needs of the people here. But don't nobody want to fly to Chicago to have to go to a case that just simply should never have been. I don't expect for me to reason with anybody on here because I've really concluded that you can't reason with the unreasonable. But the one thing that I will say today is that we basically won the case without even having to make one. I never got an opportunity to present my case in the case that was brought against me by my accuser. Clock that T. No, but seriously, staying focused and being very serious here. I never in my entire life, no matter how many court shows that I have watched, I've never watched someone actually whoop their own ass in a court of law. But beyond that, for someone to have made tremendous amounts of claims and accusations, it was also quite fascinating to see her not be able to present one. It was really, really, really unfortunate because I sat in this case today hearing literally almost nothing that I did as it related to evidence or specifics. And if you watched that case, then you saw how abhorrently horrific and how painful that was to watch, stomach, to experience, or to participate in. I want to take a moment to say thank you to everybody that stayed on that broadcast and in the courtroom literally for the duration of the day. Thank you, because neither you nor I will get any of those hours back. They're gone forever. I spent most of the time in that case today, wondering what Tiffany Henyard was drawing while she was dealing with public comment as an elected official, because whatever the hell she was drawing, I wish that I had those same lines to draw in, because it was definitely terrible and horrific to sit there and experience that for the long haul. But man, I give her kudos, because whatever the hell she was drawing, even though I know at least when I talk, I had something to say, it got her through some of these same commenters. This is not about, or was never about, a person needing an order of protection. And I just want to basically make that clear here, knowing that I don't have to express that to y'all. But all of the claims that was made against me and all of the rumors and accusations today, they fell flat, like they should have on their face. It is not about where you start, it's about where you end up. And today, I thank the courts for proving that I've never been a danger, a harasser, a thug, or any of those things, especially as it relates to Vivian Allen. And I want to remind y'all that there are other people within the VNOT institution that are also going to whoop their own asses in the coming months. And so we are very patient and we're going through the process, and we are literally unbothered, readjusting our crown, wiping off our shoulders, and getting our Dougie on, moving around the country, doing king shit, making major moves, and preparing for major announcements. I want to be clear here, though. I don't feel like this is something that I'm going to celebrate, because I actually felt bad for the lady. When I listened to the case today, some of the things that I did recognize is that, as I told y'all, because one thing that has become consistently clear for those of you all who watch me, I don't spend my time making up narratives or spewing lies. I told y'all Hippocritopotamus was behind a lot of this a long time ago. Do you remember that? Do you remember I told y'all when this woman was trying to say, keep my name out your mouth, I keep your name out my mouth. I don't say nothing unless you say something to me. Did you not hear this fat fuck say that I don't care about nobody's beef because I'm not involved with anybody's beef? Well, I want to tell the people of Dalton, congratulations for kicking cankles out of your inner groups, because the woman simply means nobody any good. And one of the things that I'm going to tell, and the things that I told you, if you paid attention, has seemingly and unintentionally come out to be true. Kimberly Christmas is a demon. She is an unstable woman who's looking for relevance and means nobody any good, because she simply wants to be something that she'll never be. Skinny, relevant, worth something. Not on the track that she's going. And what I thought was very fascinating is that if you was listening to the case, then unwittingly, because I don't know if it was intentional or not, you heard Vivian Allen say, when you talk to me on a daily basis and you give me these things, that was a painful moment for me, because it says to me that the woman is putting a battery in the back of this lady, trying to get her, in my opinion, to do something she'll never have the courage to do. Be honest about how she feels. I listened to the content of the testimony, and I found it fascinating that I became more sorrowful for Vivian and reaffirmed in my position about Kimberly. But don't get it twisted. I ain't shed no tears for these hoes. They have chosen where they want to be, and it's okay. Game on. But the crazy part about it is that that is why all of this has been going on, in the sense of the testimony. Kimberly Christmas has been giving, literally, the woman says, I don't watch his stuff. Kimberly gives me all of this. She is not a super producer. She's not a super citizen. The only thing super about her is her food portions. But other than that, I'm going to tell you all this for the last time. Kimberly Christmas is not a good person. She's not. And when that lady was called out by Vivian, didn't you give me all of this? You should have saw, if you didn't pay attention to the camera, Kimberly's response. Because I don't think that she considered that that woman was going to tell where one of her greatest sources was. And here is a woman again trying to act like she is not in the mix. She's always been in the mix. And I'll say it again. When I sat in my home and I looked on my computer screen when we were done broadcasting and saw her trying to gather intel, I knew she was no good for any of us. And she sat in that court today and said she left investigate and advocate. I don't particularly remember if that's totally true or not. But I do know one thing is for damn sure. We was already telling her it was time to go. But regardless, this is a personal vendetta from her against us. And I'm telling this to Vivian. That woman does not care about you. She wants to be able to feed her children because the fat, lazy fuck can't get it done on her own. And saying that she has no problem with getting a man, I want to tell you that will be what we will call intrinsic evidence to the fact that she's a liar. I think that she'll have a problem getting any man with the ability to feel, to see, and to smell. Now, beyond that, I'm not going to be on here trying to spend my time being ridiculous, but I'm going to just always be honest about how I feel. They lost that case today. They should have lost that case today, and they will continue to lose every case that they have attempted to file against us. Why? Because Jedediah Brown is not focusing on them or doing anything to them. I understand that I have a vulgar mouth at times, and I'm very expressive as it relates to using colorful language. I listened to those things that were played in the court today, and even I was like, damn, I'd be going in. But this is what I want to be clear about. My goal is never to be a disgusting vowel or a person that talks about people. But ho, if the shoe fits, or if it doesn't, wear it or stop trying to put your goddamn foot in it. And for me, it is simple. I don't go after people. I defend myself and I talk that most people think. And this is my point. All of this is being done simply because of you. Those of you all who are supportive of me, those of you all who call me, and those of you all who accept me for who I am. These are individuals who are mad simply because they either wish they could be like me or they want something that they think I have. But I just want to be clear here. I have enough sense to stay in my lane. And they could be successful too if they did that. It was so sad to see the amount of people who had what I would call legitimate cases be locked in a room downstairs while a frivolous trial goes on that literally took up the resources of the court today. Understaffed, under-resourced, a floater judge who was also the judge that does the after call, literally was put in between a rock and a hard place when there was countless families there with legitimate fears for their life, their safety, their property, and their loved ones. We've learned a lot through these proceedings. We've learned that Greg does not live in Harvey. We've learned that Kimberly's messy ass is the architect of quite a bit of this. We've learned that Vivian will continue to use sicknesses in a disgusting and vile way. Now, all of a sudden, she needed to go check on her dad. I'm not going to go into all that, but it was a very typical display. I was threatened today multiple times by a monster, a literal monster. I keep being threatened by a monster who has all of these chiefs, supposedly in her ranks and in her family, and who are her loved ones. Even saying today that she was going to call her husband. Well, we have simply called out, and no one has ever seen this man or even know that he exists. So maybe he's locked up in the fucking basement, waiting to be released so he can be able to unleash all the fury of hell on his subjects. Maybe they only feed him through the nighttime. Maybe he's a vampire who only comes out when the sun is gone. Or beyond that, what's maybe the real thing? Maybe he's plastic. I don't know. But we ain't fucking worried about anybody's threats. And then what's crazy, or the biggest maybe, is I just want to tell you this. If this is supposed to be some big time gangster who gonna put a motherfucker in their place, if he fucking you, then either he ugly as shit or he ain't to be really feared because you ain't no dime piece. Motherfuckers with status, motherfuckers with abilities, they get dimes. You not even two pennies that you can rub together. I'm sorry. You're right. This is supposed to be informational. Let me stay focused. Fuck her. But we ain't done nothing to nobody. We continue to do our best to do the work, focus on what's important, and strive to make a difference. But in the words of Dave Chappelle, that's a bitch. Now, case dismissed. No, not dismissed. Denied. And the judge said that there may be a civil matter here. This is on everything I love. Just like I waited till I got to court before Ari got her charges, hear these words that are coming out of my mouth. If you all don't stop fucking playing with me and trying to waste my time and get in my way, which you clearly cannot do, I'm going to countersue you. And I'm going to take every fucking thing you have available. You've lost consistently. You should see the writing on the wall and stop losing. I literally have to fly into the city just to address this stupid shit. You're not on my level. They're not like us. We are not interested in this. We have real work to do, and we're staying focused on it. And listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. If you cannot repeat it in a court of law, stop signifying on the internet. Because playing the victim and acting like you ain't said certain things that you said, it won't age well. But I guarantee you this, today's transcripts are gold. And I'm saying it to all of you. Stop it. Stop it down. And that's all I can do. Request respectfully that you stop it. Because this is not checkers. Because it ain't a game. This is bigger than chess. This is king shit. This is real life. Stop playing these games. I made a decision. You can say whatever you want to say about me online. That's as best you're gonna get. The few people who find entertainment in saying dumb shit. But I'm being for real. How many losses does it take before you realize you can't get me? You can't stop me. You can't touch me. And all of your delusion, look at what's ended up. Stop it. Thank you to the people who showed up in court today. Alicia Nicole has always been a real one since the day I met her. She's not a member of Investigate and Advocate. She's a member of the community. And today, she stood 10 toes down for truth. That's what a real woman is. What is going on with these super chats? If y'all, thank you to everybody that's in the super chat. So we can put a label to it. If any of them are foolish enough to file a lawsuit, this will be the resources that we utilize to countersue. We're going to add whatever came in this thing today to that $1,000 that was already raised and put it towards that $2,500 retainer. And so it doesn't have to go down like this. I don't know what y'all super chatting for. I ain't asking for nothing. But I'm telling you, that's what it's going to go for. Let me answer questions, because I really don't have a whole lot to say. But what I will say is that judge gave a lot of consideration today. Can you all listen to me when I say there was not one piece of evidence, not one piece of evidence? Even I was shocked because I expected to hear at least one piece of evidence that was going to make this case viable in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I was I I couldn't believe that when it was time for cross-examination that I was being yelled at. I couldn't believe that I couldn't even ask fat ass, how you feeling? She didn't even know how to respond to that. How you feeling? How you feeling? And to look at a grown woman who voluntarily inserted herself into this, look at the judge, wondering, do I have to tell how I feel? Is this fucking kindergarten? She didn't want to tell me how she felt because she was under oath. She had to tell how she really felt. I feel dumb as fuck. Just say it. Get it out. We already know. We see it in your pants. It is a monstrosity to have all that weight and no ass. No formed ass. I know how you feel already. I see it. You feel stupid. But the amount of sheriff deputies who had to get overtime today on taxpayer dime, absolutely terrible. At one point, it felt like there were maybe at least 10 to 15 sheriffs who all had to stay over at the county building because of all of the chaos that was going on in the facility. It was crazy to me that on top of there not being any evidence, motherfucker was given not one, but two opening statements in my mind, testimony, exhibits, witnesses, and examination. I didn't get to introduce shit. The burden of proof was not on me, obviously. But I didn't get to introduce anything. I got to sit there with my bald head getting beamed down on with them LED lights of the courthouse. Now, they might not have no Wi-Fi. Cook County got them some good lights. It was fascinating to watch them actually try to be whole, full-fledged actresses. Oh, I need to go into the secure room or the witness protection room and put their head down. How many times did they need to talk about this sickness in their body? When you all listen to the case today, I was confused about who the hell is on trial here, because if I'm being sued for an order of protection, why do I hear every other name but mine? What is my point in reiterating that? When they tell you about all the things that I've been doing to them, it's really boiling down to one thing. Why couldn't they articulate one thing that I've done to them? And then when they realize that I'm smarter than the average Negro, they got mad. I asked one simple question. If I destroyed your business, how long has your business been filed? How did I destroy a business in one day that's been inactive for 3 years? Make it make sense. I don't know. How many videos have I done against you? Oh, now you want to plead the fifth. I don't know. How many videos have you done? Now you want to plead the fifth. I don't know. How do you even rationalize a person saying, I am a resident? And then you ask them in examination, did you live in Dalton during the fight? No. Do you live in Dalton now? No. What are we doing here? Did you all not hear them explain that I destroyed a business that has not even had a launch? Wait a minute. You all been sitting on this broadcast with me, and y'all know that we've been trying to get to 100 members before we do what? Launch. So how was these dummies sitting up there telling a judge that an unlicensed, illegitimate detective agency to which we never identified ourselves as was operating through fraudulent means? She doesn't mention me, but literally 3 days ago just did another live talking about me, trying to disparage people from participating or patronizing a woman's business that she assumed is associated with me, which actually has no connection to me at all. Getting angry with an entire village and insinuating that they have turned their backs on her because they will not engage in the bullying tactics that they are in or reinforce them. This sounds at best like kindergarten bullshit. The fact that so many people took out of their day to watch this epic failure literally blows my mind. For somebody to say, literally playing clips sometimes as long as 3 to 4 minutes so that one word could be heard about a health condition, talking and claiming that they're being stalked. What is my point, y'all? I wasn't initially going to go into this much detail, but here is my point. Something is wrong, and it ain't me. And I do believe that there's got to be something is wrong, and I don't know what it is. This is absolutely crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. And then when the judge says, I don't have any doubt that there may be emotional stuff going on. He only heard one side of testimony. He said, I don't have any doubt. They up on that, Get thee behind me, Satan, Lucifer, Melissa. I bind Leviathan Crowley. I'm gonna give you some advice. If you fly over to the Dominican Republic right now, they got a sale going on. They will actually insert a motherfucking tooth right there in the middle for less than $100. Go get them teeth done before you. so that this chief husband of yours can at least have a bad bitch when he going out there doing bad things. You have a face designed for crime. I want to be very clear here. I looked at you today and I was really trying to determine what it was. And when you talked about how you were going to have people come to handle me, I said, I get it. Your face was designed for criminal activity. You look illegal. And because of that, if you do have a ranking member of any organization that's out here doing anything that's going to handle somebody, then I actually also applaud it as an advocate. They need a break into the real world to come out here and meet a real man, because having to sit there and look at your dumb ass all day, I'm sure have built up a lot of frustration that they need to channel. Yeah, do that for them. But this is their group. This is what they want to be their legacy and what they're remembered about. You literally sat there playing other people's clips, talking about their mind. Leave the courts alone. Leave me alone. Get to work doing what you are passionate about. Stay out of my lane and leave my name out your mouth, because delay, oh, wait a minute, I can't miss this moment, because a denial ain't a loss. In this case, a denial is a loss. It's over. And it is a clear indicator of what's to come if you don't stop your foolishness, loser. So I am excited because I'm going to walk around. You know what? I should frolic at the next meeting. I can move freely as I always was able to. I can move freely through the meeting in Harvey because I am under no order, with my constitutional rights intact, literally able to prove my case by not making a case. It's quite fascinating. I've never done that. I'm going to keep saying that. Today, I won a case. I did not get to present my case. The craziest part about it is, after hours of testimony, tons of exhibits, witness statements, and all other things, in the middle of this frivolous fiasco, this, as Donald Trump would put it, witch hunt and fake news, I was able to listen to the sweet sounds of the judge say that this case was denied specifically for insufficient evidence. Now, any further commentary about me being whatever they are trying to suggest that I am against them will be taken as defamation. And these $2, $5, $10 hollers are going to be utilized to go to court and tap that ass. And I'm being very clear here. I am a gracious, merciful, generous, forgiving guy. You can stop it here and it's over. But if you don't, I'm going to take that fucking walker when I do the assets in my countersuit for the emotional distress that I have endured with your dumb shit. If I had to give you a message, Vivian, you don't live in Dalton. You don't live in Harvey. You cited many things today and multiple times about why you need special considerations and why you shouldn't be dealing with drama and threats and everything else. Go knit, ho. Leave the politics alone. Stay out of the lane of advocacy. Go bake some fucking cookies. As a matter of fact, if you want to be an advocate, go do some shit for disability rights or something. There's a lot of righteous fighting needed to be done in that. But stop throwing rocks and then crying, help! Did I do a good job, Frank? When people turn around and ask who threw it. I thought I had my last statement, but this is the last statement that I will make. You really need to soul search because you were okay with the online abuse, disrespect, and even labeling of Keith Price when you knew the whole time he was telling the truth. You benefited by getting a small name for yourself for a short period of time by actually stirring the pot further to create additional disdain for another black woman in power under false or exaggerated pretense. The thing that's so disgusting about you to me is that week or meeting after meeting in the village and in the township, you showed up relentlessly, willing to, by any means necessary, sustain hatred against a person for a narrative that was never true and wasn't even needed because they was already dealing with enough because of their own actions. And as an advocate, you are disgusting to me. You do not deserve the level of consideration you've been given. And so what I think you should do is take this L and turn it into a new life path and lifestyle. But if you don't got to say a damn thing to me. And you sure as hell don't got to say nothing to her. But I really, 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 really want to say this. Karma is a bitch simply because, not because that's what she chooses to be, but because that's what we create her to be. And what I encourage you to do is to get that right with God, because that shit was sad. It was sick. And I literally am disgusted because I really thought that we was fighting for a cancer survivor who was left out of the benefits of their village. And none of that shit was true. Just like your walk being destroyed by me. Wasn't no fucking body walking in that shit because the word was already out. Call me what you want to. But what you'll never be able to do is what I did. Show receipts, you fucking fraud. And no, I would never want to be your friend. Have a good day, bitch. Is there anybody that wants to ask questions? I will answer them and I will get off. Somebody literally thought that they was going to get off of the welfare selling beads with an exaggerated ailment. Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Hmm. Christine Leach, thank you so much. Kevin, thank you so much. Is there a competition going on in this chat? Did you hear her when she said She had cancer today. Did you hear her say that her father experienced an alleged heart attack, and that is why she needed the case to be continued today? She has no insult level. She's disgusting. The better be careful. She just may get what she claims to have, speaking cancer over her own life. What happened in the hall? So in the hallway, there were several incidents. The first incident is we were out there laughing because shit just is funny. We was having a good old time. You would have thought we wasn't in court. You would have thought we was just sitting in the fucking park on the benches because we already knew this shit is dumb. So we were talking mad shit. But while talking mad shit, Miss Melissa Crowley's weird body ass, heavy on the top, little legs on the bottom, walks up. And then it was crazy because at first I didn't recognize her. The hair has changed significantly. I'm not sure who was doing all of their hair, but I think they specialize in bad weaves. And it's just like when you saw the first time when people had the sponge and you thought that's some nappy ass shit. And then you realize that is a style. So I'm not going to conclude that that bad weave was done because it was a bad weave. Maybe Raggedy Head is in. I don't fucking know. But I do know one thing. Either their tariffs are too high or motherfuckers then went back to horse ass hair. Because that shit didn't look nothing like it was human hair. Walked up and went into the courtroom, staring at me with those demonic ass eyeballs. Went into the courthouse, and then when we got out of it on resource, came out of the courthouse, and I was asking the sheriff, what was the demon lady saying to the judge? Because I saw her engaging the judge, knowing that the judge should be listening to both sides in front of both parties. She came up and said, I'll tell you what I said, all knock needed and shit. And when she finally spoke, I had to check her. I'm only talking to relevant people, official people. I don't talk to people who don't matter. In other words, move the fuck on and go home, Roger. And so she didn't like it. So Melissa Crowley does what she does, and she keeps on yelling and screaming and shit. That's the stuff that made them give her a shot in her ass when she went to Ingalls Hospital. And she was doing all this yelling and said she was calling her husband that nobody can trace. And this husband was going to handle me. And I wasn't going to talk my talk when he got there. I talked my talk. I don't necessarily argue with women as much as I tell anybody what the fuck I mean and when I fucking mean it. And because I was responding to yet another threat, the sheriff's called for backup, and then people came up. There was a time when Alicia Nicole was going to get snacks, and some weird ass lady with a turban said something to Alicia Nicole, and Alicia Nicole, because she is holy in hood as well, I assume, she was with the shit to say, what you say? Because instead of getting them snacks, Alicia Nicole was ready to get a bite out of that ass if she needed to. And then, of course, you had different little spats here and there where both sides were talking their shit, making it clear, fuck what you talking about, but ain't nobody jump. So it was a waste of time. Yes, they are matching each other's super chats. And I ain't complaining. Are you still dealing with Kobe Chapman and her run for mayor? Kobe Chapman has been a Probably the third in succession revelation for me in dealing with politics. Um, I will be addressing some things that I have discovered at the appropriate time, a little closer to certain decisions being made. Um, but I really believe that Kobe Chapman, who I was extremely willing to believe in, I was actually thinking that I would have gone in this and needed to stay neutral in the race for mayor. But Kobe Chapman is she's the grand master of the crazy. I got to come up with the rest of the words. I just got the crazy spelled with a K. The K, this KKK. She's the grand master of it all, and yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll move past that, but yeah, Kobe Chapman is no good, no good, no good. I thought I was hearing things. She did say that she had cancer today. She said it, and she said she never said it. It was a slip of the tongue. Y'all know that. Have you eaten anything? No, I've been in. Wait, I ate this morning. When I get off of here, I'm gonna do what I need to do. KP replied, that was so fucked up. That man had to sit there all day. He didn't even get to have his trial. I can't find my wallet to accept the challenge. I'm crying. When she lost, she walked as fast as she did at the brawl. I don't know. Let me go down. There's a lot of comments that I done missed. Do you have a plan for all the super chats and super stickers? Did you say court? Yeah, we're gonna put that up for our lawyer to handle the appeal because I'm hopeful for these civil lawsuits that we will be countersuing. Lady in court said the cop is there. They are provoking him. So now what? I'm not sure. The fight is on, but nobody. The light is on, but nobody is home. I got a super chat of $10. Thank you so much, Jedi. How are you? I'm drained in the instance or in the sense that it's so many amazing things going on. So I'm not allowing this to really infect me because I'm doing a lot of extraordinary work. That I'm excited you guys are going to be hearing about really soon. There's going to be some major announcements coming across the board. I'm very tired, and one of the things that I am tired is because of the travel. So I'm probably gonna fall asleep once I get off of here. Like I said, I had to get up this morning at like 2, 3 in the morning to get to the airport. But I've been doing a lot of stuff in a lot of different places, and I'm just tired. I got a lot of weights on me, but I'm excited because it's all gonna turn out to do some good work. If you was in our meeting, if you was in the if you was in the for the culture meeting last night, that's what I'm on, and I'm excited about even that. So, I'm just carrying it all, and it's a journey, but it's cool. And then it's crazy because they be like, oh, his dying channel, his irrelevant ass. He ain't nobody. Don't nobody like him. Ain't nobody supporting him. Everybody coming against him. We're taking him down. And then they get in the court says, and he up there talking about us with hundreds of thousands of views. He gets hundreds of thousands of views and supporters, and there are people who are loving him across all of the continents. And oh my God, Your Honor, my name is destroyed because Jedediah said it, and everybody's rocking with him from everywhere. This nigga got support everywhere, Your Honor, and I'm mad about the support because I was like, oh my God. Do you see this? Do you see this? Is because my legs are fake. I was like, what? I'm talking about flat out crashing out. And then I'm asking questions. And then look, this is what's crazy. You go up there and I'm standing up on the defendant's side. We there. It's like 90 different sheriffs. And I stand up there. What is he coming over here for? I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Oh, I didn't ask you to hold my hand. I'm asking you questions behind your back. But you don't trust. I'm trying to get some answers here. I was like, the V-Knot is in full effect in this motherfucker. Hold on. Okay, I'm 193 comments up. I am not gonna read all these, y'all. I'm for the speed. She said she can't fight and don't want to fight. Can I watch the court proceedings today? Nope. Cook County is a little different, but I am getting that transcript. There's some very good gems in there. Their voice trembling was wearing me out. Have you talked to Kevin after following you? He's an amazing guy. Kevin is actually proven to be an amazing force for good. Crazy, convicted, kooky, personal person. You, there you go with the case. Crazy, convicted, kooky. Slip of the tongue. What about the McCastles? I'm not sure the McCaskills. The McCaskills. He was in court today until bedtime. Yeah, it's a lot about, it's a lot of work to do. It's getting cold. She's gonna blame any lie and told her a tumor was next time. I'm pretty sure right now she is, yeah, anyway. She told the judge that she had to leave because her daddy was in the hospital having a heart attack and she stayed there. Okay. They recorded the Zoom. She better be careful asking for an ADA and stuff. That's next level. Be careful playing in court. Oh, trust me, we are on everything that we need to be on. What is going okay? Hazel, thank you so much. What can we do to help you, Jed? What do you need? Right now, nothing. Um, you are helping me a lot. You know how you help me. You good. I'm good right now. Wow, it's not important. Thank you for your support. Another thing that I thought was interesting today. Uh, another thing that I thought, who was you talking about with the who you talking about? Fake forehead? Yeah. Um, couldn't look you in the face. Your Honor, he is standing behind me, and I'm afraid. I see more creating YouTube handles again today to troll. Appreciate your support. Most people beg for change. Vivian Allen begged for sympathy, just walking around with a cup. Okay, so I didn't realize they was talking about me. So, what else do I think was an amazing observation today? It was a lot going on. It was a whole lot going on. But yes, I want to say this. I wanted to say this for the record, for that you all would understand this. Um, to be honest, y'all, it's so sad because I really didn't do anything to these people in a real sense. I really didn't. I really didn't. Um, Even Kimberly, she tried to manipulate the court. She said, I saw some of the chats and she was naming some chats. And then she said cyber attack unit, but I'm not in that chat. Kimberly does that as a manipulation tactic. She's trying to say those words, but then she's trying to distance herself from it. I watched her do that the whole time she was my producer. She would say things to try to get my mind to be one track, and then she would try to be back up off of it like, yeah, but I don't know. I ain't seen it, and I'm gonna proof of that. And then she'll try to make a joke and act like she's, such a sweet person. And so when I was looking at the tactic today, I thought it was extremely funny. So I cross-examined her and I said, so you said that there was a cyber attack chat? And then she had to completely distance herself from the comment. Literally, if you watched it, you saw this happen in real time. And it was so fascinating to me because it's like, what kind of idiot do you all really think I am, or do you all take this process for? Like, why don't you take it serious? I literally was hoping that she would try to say she didn't say that, but she ended up saying, "Oh, I don't know, and I didn't say it. I didn't say that, and I'm not in it." So it's like literally like I'm in the inner circle. I'm this, and then and then try to present it as if she left our organization because she discovered things that was unethical or immoral. She'll never be able to tell you about any of that because it just simply doesn't exist. Today, I feel completely vindicated as it relates to some of the things that I've been saying to you guys, and some of the accusations that I've withstood, and I've had to kind of ignore, if you will. And I feel good about the verdict today. I feel good about the case, about what has happened in court. Again, this is what I expect to take place in all of them. It is simply a waiting game, waiting to the day of trial. But now that it's dismissed, she does have the opportunity to file an appeal. That will be something that we will deal with swiftly, but then it will be completely over. And this is nothing that could be used against us again. And so I'm happy about that. And I am looking forward to us getting our focus concentrated on only the work. But you guys, unfortunately, we got more be not ass to kick. So if I'm not mistaken, we got a trial coming up next, no, 2 months from now. So say some prayers. Again, we're not utilizing the lawyers for these cases unless we feel we need to. Specifically, I am waiting for what I'm hearing to be alleged intents to file for civil suits. So fuck the orders of protection. But y'all trying to come after our money, which you won't get. Motherfucker literally had the nerve to say they want our trucks. Oh, I did say that today. I said, why don't you call those repo people because our trucks is outside, telling people that I'm on the repo list or that we've transported our cars to Chicago because they're on the repo list, when the fact of why we brought our cars here, it makes it, thank you for pointing that out. It's even more fascinating that I moved full-fledged expensive equipment from the South all the way to the Midwest because I was that committed to the fight and the people of Dalton. Thank you for helping us to extract that information. Hold on one second. I got to restart this. Oh, y'all. So, and those of you all who heard me, did not sound like I knew what the fuck I was talking about just a little bit. Objection. Strike it for relevance. Objection. This leading a narrative. Hearsay. Objection, Your Honor. Like I was literally up there. I felt like I was like really like, I was like, God damn, like I should have been like, you know what I'm saying? I need to apply for a law firm or something. I was saying shit I didn't even know about. And then I was like, okay, objection. She then I was so cold at it that the judge read my mind. I said objection. And I was literally saying, like, how is she talking and she's supposed to be questioning a witness? I was like, oh shit, I'm getting good at this. And I mean, I felt so good about it, y'all. Unlike that dumbass dude, I got a few sustains out of it. They was like, sustained. I was like, yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me, Yana. Yeah, that was me that called that sustainable objection right there. He said, sustain. Oh, noted, Mr. Brown, sustain. I said, oh shit, I'm going to law school. And then he said, what'd he say? Overruled. I was like, damn. I almost had enough of them, boy. If people gave me one more sustain, I was gonna jump around that thing like they did on Tom like what the hell? I don't remember what that cartoon is. Well, it's a wonderful night in I was gonna like go to that like bitch, sustain, call me, call my name, sustain. They people said sustain one more time. I'll be like, no, Your Honor, it's actually Lewis. I don't know if you're trying to call me Mr. Sustained over there. So, I just felt real good. I did do my thing over there. I had me a little piece of paper. I'm gonna tell you what I also realized today. When you be listening to shit and you trying to catch it all, boy, that's why they put lines on paper. Because if you looked at my notes today, you'd have been like, what the fuck? And I was like looking at it, was all over the place. You had to put a line, then when some of the stuff was upside down, and then she was pissing me off. So I done threw the paper up, I had to pick them up, start writing again. I was like, then you know what I'm saying? I had to, I'm like, and it just was when you come to court and motherfuckers like, oh, I'm finna get my opening statement, and they put out a stack of papers that look like a small novel, I was like, oh, hell no, we finna be here all day. They been on that chat GBT shit all night. Chat GBT, say something that make it look like Jedediah is such a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching, no, somebody sent me something a day or so ago of this fat fuck sitting behind listening to AI, and they really feel like they did something because they got AI talking to themselves, and it's like, this is some crazy funny shit. It's like, what? But I'm like, all this stuff is in this case. And I was thinking to myself, all I was thinking to myself, I was like, damn, this finna be long, but I was like, damn, what did I say? What did I say? And then it was nothing. I was like, all them damn trees. All them goddamn trees then had to suffer for nothing. I think I'm done. I went to I went downstairs to file my complaint. I got my complaint. And as I was getting ready to leave, I looked over and there was two shoes sitting at the sheriff's desk. And I said, what, are y'all in line? And they said, hell yeah, we've been here all day. They said, I'm super producer's left and I'm super producer's right. And do you all know that super producer's shoes was inside of the sheriff's deputy's office also filing a criminal complaint for neglect and abuse? That's all I'm gonna say. These bitches going to jail. They better stop. They gonna end up in jail. Don't they always tell y'all about me? They gonna end up in jail. It was me and them shoes in there filing our complaints. And they both got individual numbers. When a pair get individual numbers, that's some shit. They got individual police report numbers. I love y'all. I hope I said something that added value to your life. You don't follow me because I'm perfect. You follow me because I'm real, and I'm gonna talk my shit regardless of how anybody feels. But one thing you're not gonna say is that I don't show up, I don't give it my all, and I don't mean it. Listen to what I'm saying. Today, Capra Diem, seize the day. We got another victory. And now it looks like we got some change so that we can also make sure we keep getting them victories. I love y'all so much. Neglect and abuse, ridiculous. Have a great night. I'm going to take it, Jed. Don't talk about the Bears. Not tonight. The only bear that I'm going to talk about, it ain't a black bear. It ain't a polar bear. It's actually quite bigger than that. It ain't even the three bears with Goldilocks. Because this bear won't feed this bear motherfucker would not sit and watch nobody else get no porridge. We could talk about bear today, but it won't be no football bear. I'm talking about big claws. Big thighs. I'm talking about this bear can stand up, and when this bear stand up, it is more diabolical and monstrous than any bear I've ever seen. It is a bear, it is a her bear, but it is not a care bear, but it is a bear indeed. This bear has a roar. Okay, let me stop. Bare necessities. I'm talking bare necessities.